All right, we are live.
Yay! All right. Hey guys. So this is the first episode of one of hopefully many. So welcome to the Bitching Dead. We are your hosts, Becca, Fareed, and Tara. We are a new webcast from the minds of the geekiary, and we're here to bitch about stuff and things because somebody has to do it. If you have not seen the most recent episode or season of The Walking Dead, please turn back now because we are not responsible for any spoilers that you hear. We did warn you.
If you're listening to this podcast, please remember that this is recorded live, so we aren't exactly sure what's going to happen. So please forgive us for any technical difficulties or accidental or intentional swears. You can join the conversation with the hashtag #TheBitchingDead.
All right. We would like to remind all of you that the views expressed on this webcast are those of the hosts as individuals and do not necessarily represent the geekiary or the webcast itself as a whole. But because we are part of the geekiary, there are ways that you can help support the website and this podcast by extension. If you go to patreon.com/thegeekiary, you can do one-time donations or small monthly donations to help keep the site running, and every little bit helps. So thank you to our people who are already our sponsors, and please sign up so that we can have more sponsors and do fun things for our sponsors.
Yes.
We also have a Redbubble shop. I'm not quite sure what the link is, but if you search for the Geekiary on Redbubble, a whole bunch of things will come up. We have Geekiary and like general fandom themed art that you can put on stickers and t-shirts and whatnot. Fareed made a great picture for this webcast that we've been sharing all over the place, and like I want that on a sticker so I can put it on my computer.
Yes.
So that is how you can help support us, and also honestly by watching this webcast, because our YouTube channel is monetized. So
yes.
Anyway, I think first things first, we're gonna go through some introductions. Who wants to go first?
I guess I will jump. So my name is Becca. I am a writer and editor at the Geekiary. I do mostly convention coverage, and now I'm reviewing The Walking Dead. I enjoy cosplay, drinking, and I have a dog that I love. That's my hobby. I got into this show because I came home from college, and my parents have been watching The Walking Dead. They've been watching The Walking Dead, and they're like, "Hey, Becca, you should watch this." And I watched the first episode like at college, and I was like, "Oh my God, this is too spooky for me." Because that lady on the bicycle, like the bicycle lady, like I could not handle that lady. And but then like I started graduating from like watching it like from behind my eyes to like actually watching. That was 2012, and ever since then, it's just been kind of like our show that we watch. And then my favorite character, well, it was Beth, but I guess now it's Carol or Ezekiel. My least favorite character, God, I don't know. Probably right now it's Jesus, because like screw that guy, he's being a douchebag. And then my favorite Walking Dead related thing is, I don't know, Tara got me Norman Reedus' autograph like 3 years ago, and ever since then I've just been like, ah! But that's yeah. So next person.
Next person, who I'll go. My name is Friedel Huck. I write for the Geekiary, and I'm also the admin assistant. I also have published quite a number of books, a total of 8 books under the pen name AJ Raven. You can check them out on Amazon. And as far as my hobbies goes, I like writing, drawing, staying healthy and fit, and stuff like that. And I got to know about The Walking Dead during season 2, while season 2 was airing. I binge watched season 1 because I had nothing better to do on TV. And after that, I just started watching because I like zombies. Now, back then, I didn't realize that this show was going to be so problematic as it went on. I just came here for the zombies, and I guess I ended up with a lot of things that made me like have opinions about them, which I'll be like talking about in this webcast. And my favorite character would be Carol. I love her. I would actually watch complete episodes of Carol just killing people. And yeah.
I
And
think we can all agree on that.
yeah, just whole episodes of Carol killing people in different ways. And my least favorite character right now would be, I guess, the rest of them, I would say.
Wow.
Maybe,
oh my God, savage.
Maybe except Michonne and maybe a little bit of, no, I guess maybe except Sean. I don't necessarily like any of those people. So yeah.
So hey, yeah, I am Tara. I am one of the co-administrators of the Geekiary. And yeah, I don't know. I write a lot. My hobbies right now are kind of like weird because I usually can say, like I love to travel, but I haven't been able to travel a lot the past year. I like running, but I injured my shoulder recently, so I haven't been able to like really run. So right now, like what I do is write, read, and yeah, that's pretty much it. Sometimes I go to Disney World because I live close to there. But yeah, so I'm kind of boring lately, but whenever I feel healthy and not broke, travel and running and skiing and stuff are my things. And skiing actually is important to this because it's part of how I got into The Walking Dead. I watched the first season like when it aired or right after it aired maybe. And then like kind of forgot about it. So I didn't watch the second season live at all or the first half of the third season. And then I was on a ski trip in Montana, and it was the weekend that it was the weekend of the third season's mid-season premiere in February. And they were doing they always do the what is the word I'm looking for? Leading up to the show. They show all the old episodes. There's a word for it that I'm blanking on.
Marathon?
Reruns.
Marathon or real?
Marathon, yeah, marathon. Sorry, I'm tired. You can't tell. So yeah, they were doing a marathon on AMC like while I was skiing, and there wasn't like much of a nightlife at the ski resort because it was a one that was really out of the way. And like also I'm the type of skier who tends to take like a couple breaks during the day. Like I'll ski for a couple hours and take a lunch break, ski for a couple hours, take another break, go back out. So every time I took a break and like went back to the hotel, the TV was always on AMC. So I just kept catching random, bits and pieces of the third season. And at some point, like a couple days in, it got to the point where I was like, I don't want to go out skiing. I want to like keep watching this. So I got home from the trip and immediately like binge watched all of season 3, and was by the time the second the episode after the mid-season premiere came on, I'd finished everything, so I was able to watch that live. So yeah, it was like early 2012 was when I got like hooked on it, but it's a big long story for me. Favorite character, I don't know if I have one. Jerry. I really like Jerry. Okay. I like Michonne still too. I mean, she's a little bit boring right now, but I think that's just because she's not getting a lot of screen time at the moment. But yeah, she's always been kind of tops for me. Least favorite. Like Fareed, I don't really like a lot of characters on this show right now, especially. Jesus is definitely getting on my nerves. I'm really not sure what Morgan is doing or what they're doing with his character. But yeah, generally it's like it's hard to say I have a least favorite when I don't really like many of them at all anyway. So there's that.
I mean, if they die, I wouldn't care.
Yeah, like honestly, the only person
I wouldn't care.
Yeah, the only person I would care about dying right now is probably Michonne and Jerry. Like, yeah, legit.
At least for Michonne and Kara, I don't want them to hurt or die.
I definitely thought that. Hi. I definitely thought. Sorry, Splendid is very needy right now because I've been at work a lot. I honestly, like, I'd be upset if Ezekiel died because, like, I honestly thought we were going to lose him last night because I don't read the comic books, so I don't know. But, like, my friend the whole time sat there like this with her hands over her face because she knew it was going to happen with Shiva. And I just was like, because, like, if an animal dies, like, I can't watch it. Like, in I Am Legend, I have to leave the room for the dog every single time. And, but no, just like the tiger, it was just bad. But I think we'll get to that later. I think.
I'm sure.
Should we like talk about the previous episode first?
Yeah, the one from yesterday, or the one from like the ones that we've been watching?
The one where they give Aaron a baby.
Oh my God. Okay.
or really just like because this is our first episode, like, and we're starting partway through the first half of the season. Like, just a quick recap of the first 3 episodes. Honestly, I remember very little about them because I don't care what's going on. Like, it's literally just episode after episode of like this shoot 'em up nonsense, and like they're drawing out this all-out war storyline. And I get it. I get that they kind of feel like they have to do that, probably because either it's going to last the whole season or it's going to at least last the first half of the season, which is hopefully it's just the first half. But I'm already exhausted with it. Like, if we hadn't been doing this webcast today, I would not have come home from a day at Epcot yesterday and sat down and watched this show. I would have like waited. I don't care about being spoiled anymore. And I've said that before. Like, if I don't care about being spoiled anymore, then that means I really don't give a shit about the show. But yeah, so the first 3 episodes have just been all like shoot 'em up, and I want something to happen. And I know people are probably going to say, "Oh, there's all sorts of things happening." Not really. If you think about it, not really. It's really like they're taking 1 step forward, 2 steps back with every episode that's aired so far. So
yeah. Let's see here. I'm trying to think. What is Splendid? That's your butt. Okay. I don't know. I wish I could be drunk watching this show, but like I've sworn off alcohol for all of November. And as Tara drinks her wine, so I have a lovely, crisp, refreshing Diet Pepsi. But hey, Pepsi, there's your plug. I don't know, because like I'm a big dummy, honestly, for thinking that we're gonna get better. After Beth died, I just kind of tuned out. And I was like, it was bad. I was like laying on the floor, crying my stupid eyes out over this character who honestly I didn't give a shit about until like season 5. Like, I did not care. And then she died and I was like, oh no, Beth. Which I will do. I'm going to do part of a segment, I think, eventually about how I was on Team Delusional for so long. And I know people are like tired of that, but maybe I'll talk about it. I don't know. I'm trying to think of everything that happens. You've got The Walking Dead meets Mad Max, where they're in those ridiculous car cavalcades. Aaron gets a baby. Erica is what we're naming her. Although no, her name is Gracie. That's right. You can see on the look on my face that I'm really struggling to remember what. Oh, a lot of monologuing. A lot of monologuing. This entire season is just monologues. That's it. And they don't stop. And like, but it's like the worst thing because like you get this character in who, like, example for Jeffrey Dahmer last night from The Walking Dead. Did he not look like Jeffrey Dahmer to anybody else? Because I thought he looked like Jeffrey Dahmer. Who's a serial killer from America, if anybody's not aware. He was very...
Who are you talking about? The guy that
was he Kip Dynamite? Was that who that was?
Yeah, no, it's not who it is. I just am calling him Kip Dynamite because he looked like Kip Dynamite.
Oh, no, that's what I'm talking about. He looked just like Jeffrey Dahmer, and he was like, all he did was monologue and drag Ezekiel around. Like, that's all he did, and then he stomped on him a few times. Like, come on. I don't know. That whole episode last night, I didn't hate last night as much because it was so much focused on like Carol and Ezekiel, who are 2 of my favorite characters. But it's just filler basically all these episodes, they should just have the season premiere and then the season finale and just squish them together and just call it a show. Because like everything else is completely irrelevant up until that point. You know, like Carol crawls in the freaking ceiling like a badass and shoots those people down. Like, which was amazing. I was so confused at first. I was like, why is there dust in the air? And because like this tells you how much I pay attention. My mom was like, oh, it's because, you know, Carol climbed in the ceiling. And whenever she got up there, my mom goes, she did not. And my mother's very Southern, y'all. But is there anything else? I'm trying to think what else happens
from the first 3 episodes.
There's a lot of flashback.
Gabriel is stuck with Negan.
Yes, he is stuck with Negan. We still have not seen Negan. It's been what, 4 episodes now? 3 episodes? We still haven't seen any Negan.
3, yeah.
3.
Or Gabriel, who I'm sure is fine.
That's okay. I'll be fine without him. I'm cool. And then Maggie is like, yeah, we'll let Gregory in.
Yeah, he's not worth killing. That didn't make any sense to me.
No, like, dude, I don't care. Like, kill him. Because, like, if he's dead, he can't, like, keep screwing you over.
I mean, Maggie should have killed him, or she should have let Enid kill him. The whole Maggie's line about he's not worth killing, and I'm like, Maggie, why? Why would you say such a thing?
No, I would kill him and throw him out. Like, the only time that there are no walkers around is whenever the most obnoxious character is monologuing and groveling for his life like a little bitch out front. And like, because this is literally our name is the Bitching Dead. So there's going to be swears for me. I'm going to try to like limit them to like, you know, minimal PG-13-ish. But he's obnoxious. There's no reason for him to be there. There's so many gratuitous characters. They bring in these characters that we kind of like a little bit, and then they kill them immediately. Like we haven't seen that one guy from the first when Carl goes to see him. I forgot he has a name in the comics, doesn't he?
Siddiq.
Yeah. Okay. So, you know, we haven't seen him again. We don't know where he's gone. Like, also, am I the only person who's getting tired of this red machete shit?
Oh,
like,
yeah. The
what is it
in the commercials?
What is it about? Like, what is it?
They did the same thing with Fear the Walking Dead, maybe during the first season, I think. And it was with the Fear the Walking Dead one, it wasn't called Red Machete, obviously it's called something else, but it kind of chronicled in like these little mini, so it's like a minute long or whatever, the story of this plane crashing, you know, because there was like infected people on it or whatever. And at least two people surviving the crash, and those 2 people later showed up briefly on Fear the Walking Dead. So my guess is that one or more of these characters from these Red Machete minisodes are going to show up on The Walking Dead. But like, if it's anything like what they did with Fear the Walking Dead, they're not going to be there for long. So it's whatever. Like, I guess it's better than another commercial, because there's plenty of those.
Oh my gosh, they had a Unisom commercial. I don't know exactly if the same commercial airs everywhere, but they had a Unisom commercial a couple weeks ago. And it was like, I was like, okay, so if we're trying not to start the zombie apocalypse, maybe we shouldn't give sleeping medicine to people. And I don't know, my brain just went places with that. Like, I feel like sleeping medicine is the wrong thing to advertise during a post-apocalyptic TV show. Like, or
during a really boring show.
Yeah, like, exactly. Like, here, if this show isn't knocking you the fuck out, why don't you drink some Unisom and go ahead and finish it? Like, and then
it makes total sense.
And I just, like, right now I have 0 craps to give. And that's what makes this show great, in a way, because I'm simultaneously furious. Like, last night I was so about to rip my TV off the wall and like throw it out in the yard. I was like, ah! And all because of the tiger. Like, I thought Ezekiel was gonna bite it, and then Shiva. Then whenever I saw Shiva come in, I was like, "Oh, don't do it!" And then she like gets eaten. I was like, "Oh my god!" So, and also very distressing to see the blood in the water. Like, no, thank you. There's a lot of things that I can live without, and tiger being eaten is one of them. Like, I'd rather them kill a baby and let them eat a baby than they have a tiger.
I actually think that they're going to. I actually think that they're going to kill a baby now.
I think
because they
Judith
killed the
might.
baby in the comic books, so they're going to kill one of the babies.
Do you think
I
that
have a
because they're
feeling.
well? I mean, there
Yeah,
can't be two.
it's like the Highlander. There can be only one.
Yeah, you
because they
can't.
did kill a baby in the comics.
Well, you can't like remember. I don't know if you guys remember this, but whenever I think it was, I'm pretty sure I talked to Tara about this, but like we had this joke, and like unfortunately, it came to fruition that like you cannot have more than a certain number of people of color on the show. Whenever you introduce somebody new of color, somebody of color has to die.
Yeah.
And that's kind of unfortunate, but
They're thankfully they're doing a little bit.
They are doing better with that.
Yeah, because it was really, really bad for the first like 4 seasons.
Because you had I want to keep on call Tyrese Biggie Smalls. You had Tyrese and you had, was it Big Tiny? Was that his name?
Yeah, I don't remember his name.
Yeah, you had T-Dog, Noah, which thank God Noah was. Who else? See, Sasha's gone, but she went on to a better show, hopefully.
Her boyfriend.
Not Abraham, the other one.
No,
Bob,
yeah. Bob, yeah.
Bob also died. Because like as soon as like Bob came along, like was it Noah? No. Yeah, Noah died. No, Noah was introduced, then Bob died, and then somebody else was introduced, and then was it Heath that was introduced, and then Noah died.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
It was like this. Yeah, it was like a chain thing.
Is Heath dead?
We don't know where Heath is. We don't know. Because
Okay, now I remember. He disappeared on some mission and we haven't seen him since. Is that what it is?
Him and Tara. And Tara went to go to the island.
Well, yeah, but Tara's back. But Heath is not?
Right, no, because
I think someone picked up Heath. It was implied that someone picked up Heath in the car or something and he drove off.
Okay.
Because Tara found the tire tracks.
Oh,
yes, yeah, and like his glasses maybe. Like his glasses had fallen off. Okay.
But do you remember but then like Tara was like walking around and she saw somebody from the back who had like Heath's hair, but then it wasn't Heath.
Yeah.
She turned him around.
Which is why I think that it's pretty much consensus that he is still out there alive somewhere.
But like make us care about him. They haven't even mentioned him. Like they have all these characters who have just disappeared. And then
they've done stuff like that before too, or they just like forget about a character for like half a season or something.
Or then randomly bring them back after 7 seasons. I'm looking at you, Morales, which by the way was the most useless, more example of people monologuing for no reason. Like all he did was monologue. And like,
I know you, Rick. I know who you are.
I know who you are. We're both monsters. And now we have the name of the show out of the way so we can kill you.
I mean, yeah, Morales felt like I don't even want to call it fan service. Like it would have been fan service if he had like continued on in the show for a while. Yeah. But like, no, this is like purely them just like sucking their own cocks. Like
it really is.
Seriously, like just bringing him back only to like kill him literally. Like he got the surprise show at the end of one episode, and the very next episode he's dead, what was it, a few minutes in or halfway in, something like that. After, like you said, we had to listen to him go on and on with one of those dumb monologues. But like I mean, it's not just monologues either, like it's the speeches.
Yes.
Like
I have to say though, I do have to say, like, I'm not like, as much as I hate the monologues, whenever Ezekiel, like whenever we see him getting dressed, for some reason that made me really emotional. I'm not sure why. Probably because I'm a big crybaby. But like, I don't know, for some reason him just getting dressed like as a king and then going out and giving the speech and like that made my eyes burn a little bit. And then I was like, oh right, it's The Walking Dead. But I don't know, it made me really emotional. But anyway, yeah, back to lots and lots of monologuing and speeches, and we will lose not one person will die. Everybody but one person will die. Everybody but Carol and Jerry and Ezekiel. They're the wonder trio of The Walking Dead. da, da, da. Like,
I mean, also, like, has Maggie hasn't given a speech. It's just been Rick and Ezekiel so far.
yeah, they
So, like, but don't worry, you guys, don't worry. There's still a few episodes left the first half of this season. Maggie, the widow will have her due, I'm sure.
the king, the widow, and Peaches. Rick Grimes is Peaches for whatever fucking reason.
Yeah. Why is that?
I don't know. Something? That's what I thought too. Cause I'm gonna look that up because I was wondering about that the other day. I was like, where does Peaches come from?
Well, anyway, Ezekiel's speech last night, and we'd already heard him say, and yet I smile, like a few too many times in one of the previous episodes. But last night I was just like, can we just agree to stop now, please? Like, if I hear him say, and yet I smile one more time, I'm going to scream. But I guess now he's not going to be really smiling much, is he?
You wonder how I got these scars. Gonna carve a smile. No, he dropped the whole king thing. He dropped the whole big accent. Like whenever Jerry was like, "You're a king," and he's like, "I ain't a king." And like, I don't know, for some reason that made me really, really sad. But at the same time, like, he's just lost like one of the biggest things to him in this apocalypse.
I mean, also it is like past time for him to start acting like a normal human being. And the thing is, I know that he didn't like ask to be their leader or whatever. And I do think that for the most part he was good at, he's not like a bad guy or a bad leader, but like the king nonsense, the show that he was putting on was just like if that had been honestly, that I would have been like Carol in that situation, just like, dude, who are you? What are you doing? Stop.
Yeah. Carol sees through everybody's bullshit. Like, it's funny because she's come from this, who was it? I'm trying to remember what season it was that she was playing like the clueless housewife. Was that in, that's when they first got to Alexandria, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. And somebody called her out on it. I don't remember who it was. But she was like,
I don't either.
I don't remember. I'll have to go back and watch it.
Morgan, I think Morgan called her out.
Oh, yeah.
Morgan noticed.
That makes sense.
Yeah, it was Morgan. He was, I think, handing out water or something, and Morgan noticed.
Right, that she had it's whenever she's forced to take out all of her weapons and she like struggles with them to put them on the cart. Do you remember that?
Not really.
Whenever they first get to Alexandria and Daryl's like, I'm gonna book dinner.
Yeah,
and like, so yeah, that's what, and I don't remember who calls her out on it. It may have been Morgan that calls her out. But I feel like it was a lot sooner than that too. Like, you're just playing up your weakness. Because wasn't she captured at one point? She's been captured a lot, let's be honest.
Yeah. I mean, Fareed loves Carol. Why don't you wax on about Carol?
Yeah, come on.
I mean, I want her to be captured, and I then want her to like kill her captors in the best way possible. And actually, my dream for this, like my wish for this season, is that I want Carol and Negan to interact. For some reason, I don't know. I want these two characters to interact with each other. I really want maybe a final. I guess they aren't really going to kill off Negan, but I really want Carol to like have a conversation with Negan over something, over a fight or whatever.
I imagine that it'll happen eventually, unless they kill Carol, like soon. But I don't think they're going to kill her. She doesn't quite have Daryl's plot armor, but she's probably like, other than Daryl and Rick and possibly Carl, she probably has the strongest plot armor.
Yeah, she's not going to die.
I don't think so. I don't know. Like, I'm beginning, the longer the show goes on, the more I'm seeing that Daryl is not really needed much anymore. And we were watching it was last night because we were watching The Talking Dead, which sometimes I watch it, sometimes I don't. And an audience member asked Kirkman if there was going to be a civil war within the Alexandria's group, and he was like, well, you never know, there might be one already starting. And I was like, okay, so like, what does that mean? Does that mean that like that they're gonna like, I don't know, are they gonna like fight each other, or like is Rick and Daryl gonna be like, is it gonna be like the people who want to kill the saviors versus the people who want to leave them alone? Like, what is it, like, where is it going?
I mean, I'm guessing it's that.
Yeah.
But
And someone needs to die already. Someone important needs to die.
Yes.
I'm feeling bored with this whole war thing. Someone needs to die. They killed Eric. It doesn't matter. They need to kill someone important.
Yeah. And the thing is, like, Eric, he's never, and I don't know, he's not in the comics as much either. So I don't think this was something that the show did on purpose. I actually think they followed that storyline pretty closely, like even with the changes that were made to it. But like, he hasn't been on the show hardly at all. It's like he pops up every once in a while and it's like, oh yeah, Aaron has a husband.
Yeah.
Okay. And then
Yeah.
like his death, it's like I felt like nothing, especially because it's like I want to be upset about it and I want to believe that Aaron is upset about it, but like he just died. Like we saw what I assume was supposed to be him stumbling around as a walker.
It was.
But they didn't show his face. They didn't have
No, it was him.
Okay.
It was him.
Actor confirmed it, but it was like implied on the show, but it wasn't very, how can you say? It wasn't confirmed on the show, but the actor confirmed it.
Walking Dead. Yeah, the actor confirmed. They said that they actually put him in zombie makeup and had him stand off camera while Eric was like, or Aaron Ross was freaking out. Like he was actually there. And I was like, that's nice. And only if you guys could do that level of dedication in your show.
But now Aaron has a baby to take care of, and then he'll fall in love with Jesus, and then those two will take care of the baby.
Yes, thank God. Somebody's gonna take care of Jesus, because man needs to get laid. He's got an attitude problem. Like he really does. He just
I mean, it's not even an attitude problem. He's just boring right now. But then again, the show as a whole is boring right now. So how much of that is really Jesus's fault?
What do you guys think the last good season was? Like, what was the last solid good season?
Season 1?
No.
4 wasn't bad. I have vague memories of 5, but I don't think I hated it.
I like 5. 5 is about where it stops for me.
I mean, we were talking earlier about like when we stopped kind of like really caring, and for me it was when they faked Glenn's death.
Yeah.
So
that was a very bad move.
Yeah.
It was a very disappointing move.
Yeah.
I don't know.
It was there's a word for it. It was just shock value bullshit. There's a specific word for it that I'm not thinking of, but yeah, it was shock value nonsense. So I haven't cared since then, and I kept watching it and kept hoping that like they would get better, and they just didn't.
Yeah. Yeah. It just, I don't, because like I'm thinking about, I really liked everybody kind of split up on the run. I really liked that. And I think after Beth died, I just was like, oh well. And it's, I mean,
they had that during that time when they were doing those episodes where they were focusing on like a couple people or a little small group of people. It was they were telling better stories and giving the characters more development. Like the constant jumping around now is really like making a mess of things.
It's so confusing because like they have a flashback a couple different times throughout the episode, and like why. It's difficult for me because I have zero short-term memory. So it's hard for me to follow exactly what we're looking at, because I was like, oh, they're back. Why is Ezekiel's leg healed? And then I was like, oh, that's why. And it doesn't, it doesn't make any sense for them to jump around like that. Like, they've always been a fan of flashbacks. They've always been a fan of, like, you know, stuff like that. But it's like the movie in Twilight, whenever like Alice has that vision and everybody like freaking dies, but nobody actually dies. It was just a vision. I feel like that's all The Walking Dead is right now. It's like this one big psych. And I can't tell what's the past, what's the present, and what's the future. The only reason I'm able to tell the future is because of, you know, Rick Grimes, Gandalf the Grey, and his beard.
I mean, why would they even show that? Like, now we know that Rick is not going to die, Carl isn't going to die, Michonne isn't going to die. Why would they show such a scene?
So that was definitely Carl, because somebody said that we don't actually see Carl's face, that it was just like the back of his head. Was it actually Carl? Because that like just okay. I mean,
no, you don't see his face. And the theory was that it's not like something that's actually happening in the future. It's like a vision or dream of the future. And the reason why we don't see Carl's face is because he's going to die, possibly soon.
I mean, if the spoilers I've heard are true, then, you know, we're headed for, you know, a lot of people are going to get their wish. Somebody's going to die, and it's a character that's not very well liked. So, you know, I'm all about reading spoilers. So I don't know, Fareed, I don't know if you read spoilers or not.
I read spoilers a lot. I read fan theories. I read the comics. And that's why I'm surprised that Carl might die, because in the comics, Carl has a very expanded role in the comics.
Mm-hmm. Especially the more recent ones.
Yeah, so I don't know who will step in for him if he dies.
I mean, how long is this show like going to go on? Like, how long is AMC going to beat this dead horse?
Decades. As far as the showrunners are concerned, it might go on for a decade.
Well, but a decade, they're on season, what is this, season 8, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It is 8. For some reason, I thought it was 7.
No, it's 8.
Okay, so they're on season 8. So, like, even if it goes for 10 years, that's still only 2 more seasons.
They might do more. It's still getting ratings. It's still getting views.
They're going to have to, and like every single time they're like, oh, is this season going to be better? And everyone's like, yeah, bigger, better, badder. No, it's not. It's not at all.
It's not.
And like, I don't know how many times they have to say, yeah, it's the best season ever. Yeah, it's the best season ever. Great. It's gonna really shock. I think we're gonna really shock a lot of people. And I'm just like, really, y'all? You've been saying this for so many. Like, I wish I could take I need to get like a video of all the times that they said it's gonna shock and wow people and surprise people, because like, you know, that's a lot, especially with Rick and God, what's his name? Daryl. What are their real names? Norman and Andrew.
Yeah.
Like, there's like, oh, it's so amazing. It's got so many explosions. It's just gonna like really mess with your head. You're not gonna know what's coming next, bitch. We can pretty much write these episodes. Yeah, it is messing with our heads, but like in the way we want it to. Like there have not been, I cannot count how many times in the past like 3 seasons where I've been like, like, I guess more of a, I don't know. I can't, when I was truly shocked, I want to be surprised, and not like in a little bitch Deus Ex Machina way. And I feel like we're going to run out of things to bitch about for this episode, but like, no, we can't possibly do that. I
mean, like just look at like our notes on this episode. Like we've already talking about Carol.
Yeah.
Badass. We've already talked about Kip Dynamite.
Yeah. We haven't talked yet about Jerry, of course. I'd love to see Jerry and Ezekiel as like Apocalypse Odd Couple show. Like, I would watch that. I would. I'd watch that show, and I'd watch. And like
I get like Jerry, I feel like is one of those characters who is going to die sooner rather than later, and that upsets me because there's so many like shittier long running characters they could get rid of and keep Jerry. But I think like he's one of those characters who he's enjoyable enough that they know his death will upset people, so they'll keep him on just long enough to get a few more, people interested in him, and then they'll get rid of him. but yeah, he definitely doesn't have the plot armor that, Carol and Rick and all them do. So, oh, and also let me be clear, I didn't love that guy, the savior who was dealing with Ezekiel. Like, I didn't like him, but it was one of my favorite moments because he's so like creepy looking, and like he just reminded me of Kip Dynamite, Napoleon Dynamite's older brother. So like,
Yeah.
I was amused. And it took me a while to place him too.
Yeah. I don't know. He honestly looked a lot like Jeffrey Dahmer.
He looked like Jim Carrey to me for some reason.
Yeah. Alrighty then.
I can see that without the glasses, maybe.
Yeah, with the teeth thing he was doing, and I was like, he looks like a young Jim Carrey, a crazy Jim Carrey.
Okay.
But yeah, so, like our favorite moments are. Our favorite moments section is a lot shorter than our least favorite moments. So
yeah. So let's go to least favorite moments from specifically last night's episode. Fareed, you want to lead with this one?
I mean, I was actually disappointed that they killed the redhead. That's one of Ezekiel's people.
Oh, we're talking about Daniel Newman. That actor's name is Daniel. He's interesting on Snapchat. Yeah, he's interesting on Snapchat.
Yeah, he like came out during, I guess, season 7, and I was like, oh, great, they killed him on the show.
Yeah. What do you mean he came out in season? I'm
the
confused.
actor.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. That's right.
And I was and when season 8 was airing, I was like, yeah, they're going to kill him, and they did.
Yeah.
Sure enough.
He lasted a lot longer than I thought he would, though. Because, like, I mean, honestly, though, he was one of those characters that was kind of like, hey, this dude seems really cool. And then he just kind of floated around. And I was like, oh, he's still alive. That's cool. He's still alive. Him and his little paintball army. And then, yeah, like Fareed said, then he died. And you were like, huh. Oh, well.
Like, moving on.
Yeah. And then that whole thing was a shit show. Like, where their guts are everywhere on the ground. Like, I love some good carnage. I do. And I was like, at first I was like, yeah, it's not like unique zombie buffet.
And no one came to check if Ezekiel was actually dead. That didn't make any sense to me.
He was, I mean, shit, like 25,000 people jumped on top of him to protect him. And, and like my mom was like, we saw one actor who's bigger, and he was a walker. My mom was like, that's Jerry. And I was like, just because he's tall with dark hair does not mean he's Jerry, Mom. Like, come on.
Well, I mean, and like the only thing about or the other thing about no one like checking to see if Ezekiel was actually dead, like not only did they not check, but he like got up, pushed the zombies off of him, and had this like minutes long struggle trying to escape. And like it took forever for somebody to show up and be like, oh yeah, like maybe we should take care of this guy. And then it was Kip Dynamite, and he didn't do a good job.
He just, I guess he had to leave Tina, the llama, like off in the pasture while he let his nachos cook. God, I miss nachos. But he let his nachos cook. Sorry. I'm trying not to eat corn right now. And like Tara can tell you that my favorite food in the whole wide world is nachos, Doritos. So I'm very sad. But anyway, no, I kind of liked the whole, like, I don't know. I liked that part where everybody was dead. And I was like, yes, because I like it when people die, apparently. But the thing that I don't know, but okay, I have a question. Like, so Ezekiel was apparently shot in the foot or the leg, because he was like digging at his foot for a while, but like we never really understood why until he was scooting across the ground like a dog, like dragging their asshole in the carpet. You know what I'm talking about? Like, that's what he was doing.
I'm pretty sure, I don't even know if was he shot, or did he just hurt? Did he break his leg or something when he
I'm wondering if it could have been broken, or he could have been shot. Like, we don't really see. We just see him like picking at his bootstraps.
Yeah.
Boot. And we don't really know what's wrong with him, except for he can't walk and he keeps falling down. And the walkers keep getting so close, but they're just conveniently just a little bit too far away. And there are a couple of shots where like the walkers were nowhere near. Whatever, like moments ago, they were like, super close to him. And I was like, okay, either continuity or the zombies are just like, it's like a video game glitch where they're just like, here. Ah.
I mean, the other thing is like, how did all of them wake up at the same exact time? Like there was like a handful that didn't, but like the vast majority of them literally woke up at the same exact time. And it's like, I know that this isn't something they've ever explored in The Walking Dead, but in Fear the Walking Dead, there's a group of people that like is studying how long it takes people to rise after they die.
Like Jenner does in the first season or second season.
Yeah, sort of. But I feel like Jenner, like these people are like going into depth with it. Like they are recording like age, weight, sex, like asking these people like health questions and stuff, and like then recording exactly when they die because they're killing them, by the way, and then recording how long it takes them to wake up, and the times are kind of like all over the charts. But in this episode, they all wake up at the, not all of them, but 85% of them probably wake up at the same exact time, and it's just like, I get that there's not been a precedent set in The Walking Dead for like how long it takes them to rise, but I mean, they chose to have them all wake up at the same time just for kind of, like
a zombie chorus line. Da,
yeah.
Da, 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 da. Like, we're spreading the virus. We're leaving today. We're gonna take a bite of it. Okay, I'm done. Like, I should never be allowed to talk. Okay, so, I mean, I didn't hate this episode, but I did not like it.
I feel like I'd have to really like actually care about this show to hate the episodes.
I mean, I don't know. Like, I'm still invested enough because obviously I'm still watching it, and yeah, I'm snarky, but like last night's episode didn't have nearly as much snark in it until the tiger died, and I was like, you know what? Fuck you guys. Fuck this. Fuck that. Fuck y'all. I'm out.
Yeah, and that was like my least favorite episode. Like I knew it was coming, both because I've read the comics and because they've been showing Shiva like a lot more the past like this season. It's like they aren't going to be able to keep showing her this much for the rest of the season. They're doing this to like get people attached to her so that they can then kill her off and have it be more meaningful, which is exactly what they did. And so it's like I can't hate that they did that and that she died, especially since they did give her like her comic book death, but it's still really hard to watch, like even knowing that she's just a CGI tiger and she's never been real. Although to be fair, somebody in the YouTube live chat like for this webcast asked if they got the tiger from the Atlanta Zoo, which is funny because there was recently a tiger that got loose from somewhere in Atlanta.
That's right. And they had to kill it, didn't they?
Yeah. Well, I think when they get loose, you pretty much always have to put them down, like if they're a predator type animal. But yeah, I thought that was a funny insight or comment or whatever, considering the tiger thing happened, I think, beginning of September.
Yeah, it was fairly recently. It was right after Dragon Con that they had the yeah.
I remember like hearing about it and being like, huh, maybe that's why there was all that traffic when I was leaving Atlanta that day.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I don't know. So Shiva being dead, it's like I knew it was coming. It's not a surprising thing. It was still hard to watch though. So.
It was like, even though it was a CGI tiger, I was kind of like, because I don't know. I think about the picture that Chandler showed of what is it? Shiva, the guy who played Shiva. He was wearing a blue suit, and he like was jumping on a trampoline. Like whenever Shiva came and clutched that one time, just like jump on the trampoline. It was like, rah. And so rest in peace to the stunt guy who had to play Shiva. May you tiger. No, I was excited for the tiger, but also this is really petty and this has nothing to do with the tiger. But can we talk about how their stupid eye gouging like CGI shit is the worst? Like
Yeah, the
Jerry
tiger,
has
they did a very bad job with the tiger. Even the tiger, I didn't like the Shiva's expressions during the start of the episode when she was like walking with Ezekiel, and I was like, that's the worst CGI I've seen in a long time.
well, no, like
Well,
I'm talking
AMC
about.
isn't exactly known for their CGI. Let's be real.
I mean, I'm talking about the part when Jerry stabs the walker after his axe breaks because he's trying to like cut the chain on the fence. Like he stabs
Yeah,
the
he
walker
stabbed.
with the pole, and it was like every time they do that, it's literally like somebody goes into MS Paint and puts a black dot over the eye. Like, does it not look like that every time somebody gets stabbed in the head or in the eye? Literally, it's like black dot, and I'm just like, and this is really petty and it's really dumb, but that's how I feel about it. But okay, so moving on. All right, so what are some theories that you guys have heard about the show?
I mean, I think we already kind of mentioned spoilers, which I feel bad about because I don't. Some people actually don't want to be spoiled for that type of stuff. And there are potential spoilers. Obviously, we are not involved in the production of the show. We don't know that these things are going to happen. But the only theories I've heard are around the baby, the baby Grace or whatever, Grace Aaron's new child apparently. And this is the theories. I honestly didn't know people were even coming up with theories. I didn't realize that Walking Dead theories were a thing, to be honest. So I mean, other than the main theory where like this is all like a dream in comatose Rick's head. That's the only Walking Dead theory I'd ever heard before the baby stuff. So like there's a bunch of theories surrounding this baby. One of them is that Judith is going to die and that Grace is the one that is the child in the stuff. So like oh no, what happened?
Huh?
Oh, you like I was it sounded like somebody's video started playing in the background. Anyway, Judith is dead, and the little girl in the flash forward thing is Grace because she has the bunny. And like Rick doesn't ever refer to the little girl by name either in the flash forward. So like that's probably one of the more legitimate theories. One of them is that it's Negan's baby, but like even Uproxx is like, probably not because like it's clearly the kid of this guy that Rick killed. And then like another thing is that the baby will die when the Saviors attack the hilltop, and she won't turn. So like that'll be proof that any babies born like during the zombie or during this period of time they don't have the virus.
I didn't hear about that.
Yeah,
that's new to me.
That seems like I mean, I guess it would need to happen that way, but it seems like a bit rough to like introduce a baby only to kill them just to prove that babies born after, everything started happening don't have the virus or the infection or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know. But I mean,
the Walking Dead ended up becoming The Handmaid's Tale.
Yeah, and
everyone would be like, now we need to like make babies.
Yeah, we need to breed them. Yeah.
That's a baby farm. Those are the baby theory. Those are the only theories I've ever heard of, except for the comatose Rick one, and I only heard them because a friend shared the article. I'm not big on like online fandom stuff. So.
Do you think that maybe this is a real far stretch here? I'm talking really far. Do you think this is the reason why maybe Negan has so many wives, is so he can populate with babies that aren't going to turn into zombies?
I don't think he knows that. How? I guess he could, but I mean, he hasn't gotten any of them pregnant so far as we know. And again, while Grace could be his baby, it seems pretty obvious that she was the baby of the guy that Rick killed. Like,
yeah.
I mean, I suppose you could say the guy may have had an attachment to the baby because he's been like helping raise her, and it wasn't necessarily his. But I don't know. I think that's a weak link. But Yeah, those are the only theories I've heard, and like I didn't really even know that people theorized about The Walking Dead. Like, what is there to that theories about?
I mean, at this point, it's such a loose canon. It's really difficult to keep up any theories. Because like the only thing I've really heard about, like, is I've heard like after Beth was taken, there's a lot of theories about that. And then of course, the team delusional, that whole thing, which I was on the train for that one, and I was riding that train.
Yeah, I guess the theories exist, but they're all kind of like situational. They're not like long running. We will find out more about Grace likely before the mid-season, like by the end of this, first half of the season. If not then certainly by the end of the season. So like any theories that there are about her will be solved fairly soon.
They don't really leave a lot of room for too many theories, except for, and they've already said that Rick is not in a coma. This is not a coma dream. And I don't know. I feel like that the whole old man Rick was just put in there just to screw with us, because it had like the flowers and the vase and like, God,
and
Andrew
Rick
Lincoln
with
was
really bad hair.
Yes, that bothered me so much. That was the worst. So awful. Okay, so all right, we have any other gripes and complaints that we have? Any more bitching that we need to do about
some guy? Is that the name?
Yeah, some guy. The name, yeah, because they were like, it was like Mercy, Monsters, Mayhem. I don't know. Whatever
and now
it was.
Just some guy.
But I mean, like at first I was like, I thought some guy was supposed to be like reference to like the Jeffrey Dahmer kid, or Kip Dynamite, whatever. And then I realized now, of course, now that what's his name says it, Ezekiel says, "I'm not a king, I'm just a guy."
Yeah,
like, oh,
yes, about Ezekiel.
Yeah, they're not really. They want to be clever with their episode names, but they're not.
The only one that was really clever was What's Happening and What's Going On, because nobody fucking knew. Not even the people who were directing that episode. I'm sorry, Nicotero. I'm calling you out, bro. You suck.
I mean, yeah, the only thing that I'm like whatever about right now, only other thing that I'm whatever about is like they're really loving this whole like time jumping / flashback nonsense this season.
Yes.
It's like constant, like this isn't something the show has been known for or has been known to do very well in the past. So why are they forcing it on us? That's the only thing.
Yeah, I don't know, because it's not like The Walking Dead where you can like go 100 different places with it, or not The Walking Dead, Game of Thrones. Sorry, and it's not like Archer where every cutaway scene is a clever enter into the other scene. So, also, this is my hand that I had for Georgie. I thought I would it's supposed to be up here, but then it fell down. Whoops. Okay.
I don't know, Fareed, what about you? You have anything else to bitch about?
For this episode, now, like you guys said, it wasn't the best episode, but it also didn't make me as angry as the previous episode did. But I watched the preview for this week's episode for Sunday, and we're going to get a lot of Negan. So yeah, the upcoming episode is about Negan and Gabriel and Dwight and the rest of the people.
That's right, yeah, because they had the little preview where Simon is walking around being like, "Somebody in here snitch," and Dwight is like, "Oh no, not me." Like, so I don't know if that means that Dwight is going to like escape. And he's gonna run. So who found out that they were trying to get the guns? Who told everybody that they're trying to get the guns and they'd move them to the outpost? Like who?
I'm guessing somebody. You mean like who told Rick and them, or who told?
Because like Dwight told them about the guns, like how to get to the guns, but then like somebody found out that they were looking for the guns and they moved them.
Yeah, I don't know. Eugene, maybe. I hope not. Eugene, like him kind of being cool. Like he had a shitty beginning, but he turned like all right. He turned out all right. And like in the comics, he continues to pretty much be all right. But in the show, at least for a while, there's some more recent happenings in the comics I don't get into that may be problematic, but like I think it's just him being dumb, not him like being like out to make mistakes or whatever. But like in the show, it's like he just goes, he just becomes part of this Negan thing, and it's like, yeah, he's still just like trying to survive, and I don't know, I don't like it. I want like comic Eugene back. They're Andrea-ing him.
Oh yeah, they're forcing him into something that he's definitely not. Is he still alive in the comics?
Yeah, he is alive.
Yeah.
Eugene is alive. Andrea is dead. Eugene is alive.
Oh, I had no idea, Fareed. Thank you so much for enlightening me about that. I had no idea.
In the comic books. Yeah, Andrea.
In the comic, that's right. She does die eventually.
Yeah. Yeah, the comic
Isn't
books.
Michonne dead in the comics?
No, she's alive too.
Okay. See, I need to read them. So, because I had the compendium from Tara, but I never read it.
Did you ever give that back to me?
Actually,
I think you did.
Yeah, probably. I do have I have another one of your books. It's a George R. R. Martin thing. Anyway, so okay, I think we've covered everything. Do we have anything else to bitch about?
Not this week, like sadly, like we've been like was not this past Thursday, but Thursday before when you guys were on Feelings with me, which by the way, that's our other webcast, Feelings with the Geeky Eric. Check it out. When you guys were on Feelings with me, we talked about it. It was like we had so much to complain about, and this episode was one of those ones where it was like it wasn't great, it wasn't all that interesting, but it also wasn't like the worst. It was actually like average quality compared to the first 3 episodes this season. But don't worry. I'm sure that there will be plenty more to complain about in, upcoming weeks. So, and not only that, like during, like we'll probably take a break during the break between the beginning of the season, the end of the season, but like in the future, once the show season is over, there's plenty we can go back and talk about. So
I'm sure we could probably like pick the worst episodes of each season. And also I'm planning on starting Fear the Walking Dead. So I'm hoping maybe, I don't really plan on like reviewing it or anything like that.
Oh God, no.
But I'm gonna start watching it. I'm gonna watch it. I'm gonna see what we can accomplish. See if we can pick up some bitchiness from there. Cause like, I don't know. Cause like, but then again, if The Walking Dead suddenly gets like way better, like they suddenly fire everybody and it's like a miracle, then we won't have anything to bitch about. But don't worry.
The thing is, it's not going to get any better because, like Fareed said, they're still getting the views. They're still getting the viewers.
Yeah, but it's dropped like the all-time low. But in 5
it's still
years,
one of the. But it's still one of the most watched television show.
And they also can't exactly change anything that's happening. At least the first half of the season. I'm sure they're still filming the second half, but
they are. They're actually we know that Jerry and Ezekiel are not dead yet because they were filming. So they kind of gave that one away. So Jerry and Ezekiel are not dead yet. Because they started filming the second part. Maybe.
Yeah. They're filming the second half of the season now.
Yeah.
They should be getting close to wrapping it up, though. I mean, it's it is mid-November, really. So.
Yeah.
So yeah, I don't know. There's gonna be plenty for us to complain about.
Yeah, this is the first. I mean, this is the first episode, first issue, I should say, in a many line of issues that we have with this show, and so thank you so much for watching, y'all, or listening. I am Becca, along with Fareed and Tara. Thank you again for joining us while we bitch about stuff and things with the Bitching Dead. You can follow the Bitching Dead and the Geeky on Twitter. Remember that we are a free webcast run off of donations from viewers like you. Thank you so much for contributing and helping our host site, the Geekiary. See you next week.
Yeah.
Yay, we're done.